Om Tat Sat. अथ स्वरभेदाः स्वरभेदाः. In this video, we shall discuss what the different accent and tones of swaras are. What are the swaras we have discussed from a to au? I, u, r, e, I, o, au. These are the 13 swaras, 13 unique swaras. Now, in the Vedic accent, that is, in grammar as well as in the Vedic literature, we find there is a particular accent and a tone in which the Vedic swaras are pronounced. Now, in the previous video, we have seen the prayatna of the vyanjanas, the external prayatna. In that, of that prayatna category itself, we have the alpa prana, mahaprana, and the udatta, anudatta, and the swarita category also. But there are still other variations of the swaras which we shall discuss now. Now, just to recollect, all the swaras are from the Vivrata Prayatna. So, what is this Vivrata Prayatna? If you haven't watched the previous video already, please do so. Now, with this background of the being the Vivrata Prayatna of the swaras, these 13 swaras, there are actually many more modifications that we can do, that these swaras can be operated on using such functions. Now these are functions like the mathematical functions. One of them is the matra, which means you can elongate a swara. You can increase the duration of pronunciation. For example, a is one syllable, two syllables, three syllables. You can make out that difference by time. Then sthana, which many people would call it sthana with the mahaprana tha. I would like to call it the sthana. Now these two are the terms coined by me, sthana and shinja. Sthana would mean sound itself, actually, from the dhatu sthana, which means to make a sound. Sthana, here it actually means the pitch, the high pitch, low pitch, or the middle pitch. This is one of the functions that you can apply on these swaras. And it is good to note here that vyanjanas do not have any of these three. Vyanjanas cannot be elongated, as was done as a fun experiment last time, but they are never to be elongated, and they are always of a fixed matra, which is the half matra. And then the sthana, there is no pitch for those. Only the swaras can have a pitch, and but there could be vyanjanas along with these swaras. However, the functions of these matra, sthana, and shinja apply exclusively to the swaras alone. And the shinja means also a sound, but here it means a nasalization. If you have to use a nasal tone to say a swara or not. Now these three functions have of the following bhedas, following divisions. Matra can be 1, 2, or 3, or 3 or higher matras, which is durations, 3 or more syllables. So that will be respectively hraswa being 1, dirgha 2, pluta being 3 or more. Where do we use hraswa and dirgha are unique, which means bhanu would not be the same as bhanu necessarily, and danu need not be danu, which means they're mapped to different meanings, and they need not have the same meaning necessarily. However, that is not the case with pluta, which means a hraswa, for example, vadhu in the sambodhana vibhakti, which means you're calling a bride, excuse me, you're calling a bride, so you would say hey vadhu. But that could also be said in the pluta form as hey vadhu. Also with the guru, hey guru, oh teacher. that is a dirgha by itself, O being a dirgha, but you can also say it in the pluta form as Hey Guru. So where to use a pluta is to be seen from the literature. Pluta generally is used with Sambodhana Vibhakti, or otherwise mainly in the Vedic literature where you use 3 matras, 4 matras, especially in the Sama Veda, you sing along, and also in the Sangeeta Shastra where which is considered a derivative of Sama Veda. And then the sthana meaning low, high or middle pitch. So Anudatta being low, Udatta middle, Swarita is high. Shinja meaning if there should be a nasalization in it, if there should be a that sound to it, that will be Sanunasika, which is if it has a nasalized sound. If it should be nasalized, it is called Sanunasika. Sa Anunasika. Anunasika is the Anunasika meaning the Nasika, the nasalized sound, along with the swara. Sa Anunasika. Then Nir Anunasika, which is without the Anunasika sound. These are the 2 variations. So there are altogether 3, 3 and 2. So if you can multiply them, you can apply a composition of functions, which means a swara can be simultaneously changed to a matra, a sthana and a shinja. Therefore, by simultaneous actions, you have to multiply the possible ways. So 3 into 3 into 2 will be 18. So there are 18 variations for one single swara itself. And how many swaras are there? According to the Maheshwara Sutras, there are 9 swaras. A, I, U, R, I, and A, I, O, Au. So there can be 18 variations of these 9 swaras. These 9 swaras, why are there? How is A not a unique? Is A unique swara? Yes, it is. A is a unique swara, which means Dhenu is not the same as Dhainvi. So there is a difference in their meanings. In that sense, they are unique. So these are the 9 unique swaras: A, I, U, R, I, A, I, O, Au, or A, O, I, Au, whichever. Of these 9 swaras, there can be 18 variations. We'll see one by one how these variations go about. So first of all, the matra, the elongation function. As discussed, there can be hraswa, short, a, I, U, R, L, all done in one syllables, a, I, U, R, L syllables. And here there's a good definition of matra, which is the batting of an eyelid, is what is considered as one matra traditionally. So a, I, U, R, L would be 5 bats of eyelid. Now the 2 syllabled ones are the dirgha swaras, which require the same time as batting the eyelid twice. A, I, U, R, A, I, O, Au. From the previous video, you would have been familiar with the concept, the fact that L does not have a dirgha. You can watch the previous video for that. And then finally the pluta meaning 3 or more. A, I, U, R, L, A, I, O, Au. All of these are the pluta variations. Now the sthana. Sthana would mean the pitch or the note: low, anudatta, medium, udatta, and high is swarita. How is it represented? It is written down in the script like this: anudatta with a low bar, udatta with as it is with no other symbol, and swarita with a dash above, with a vertical line above, a short vertical line above. So how is that pronounced? Anudatta, by bringing your pitch low. So this anudatta would be easy for men because they generally have a low pitch in their voice. So which means this has a low frequency. Medium would be as it is: I, U, a, e, u, etc. All of that will be the udatta pitch. Now you have to remember these are functions. These are not These are not the only limiting examples of this. I'm just giving you some examples here. This is not exhaustive in any manner. These are just functions, and here are some examples to demonstrate how they are used and how they are pronounced. High pitch is swarita. Swarita would be with the vertical dash or with two vertical dashes if it is a dirgha swara in some cases. For example, it would be e, a, e. Now this double dash actually means is actually a peculiar sound which is called the dirgha swarita, which is used only for dirgha swaras. For example, the hrasva swara cannot get a double dash like this. So dirgha swarita are exclusively for the dirgha swaras, are to be operated only on the dirgha swaras. Not that they are one-to-one, which means not all dirgha swaras are to be as the swarita with the dirgha swarita. They can be also just only swarita like a, e, o, r, e, I, o, that will be the swarita, which is a small modification, a variation of that is the dirgha swarita, which means you increase it with like a musical tone. E, o, e. You say it twice. That's why you have used two dashes there, and not with the same duration, but with now this comes with practice itself. You can't exactly define how it is to be pronounced. You have to keep practicing it under a tutelage of a good Vedic scholar. Now, for example, in this line from the Rig Veda, it will be, see this with the line below. Gni is the udatta. And then mi in the udatta, then le in the, the mi was in the high. Agnimi le purohitam yajñasya deva mritvijam otaram ratnadhatamam. And there in this Rigveda, there's a strange thing that at some places the dirgha, because this is dirgha akshara, this is to be pronounced as a dirgha swarita. So it will be agnimi le purohitam yajñasya deva mritvijam hotaram ratnadhatamam. Now that all of that will be in the Vedic accent that has to be learnt very precisely, as said before, under a Vedic teacher. But now this is just the introduction. This is a small parishaya. So this is how to be a higher pitch will be the swarita. Moving on, now shinja, the nasalization, will be represented with the chandra bindu. Now the nasalized form will be the unnasalized, which is called the niranunasika. The nasalized is called the sanunasika, and the unnasalized will be e, o, as it is. But nasalized with some effort of nasalization, e, o, will be the shinja. Now for some examples. So dhanya, this is dhanya, anya, dhanya, dhanya, vadanti, 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 vadanti. This is the hrasva e, dirgha e. Then matr, matr. This is matr, 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 matr. Vadhu, 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 vadhu. Right? Do you see the difference there? Yes. Now these have different meanings because they are the hrasva dirgha variations. But for the others, if there is a let's say a sanunasika and a niranunasika in this vadanti, let's say vadanti or vadanti, then there is no difference at all. which means the shinja and the sthana are degenerate, which means they do not determine the meaning, as well as pluta. They don't determine the meaning, but only the hrasva and the dirgha variations are important for the meaning. They are unique. And here in pluta, we see hare as dirgha and hare in pluta. Shwashru is a hrasva, which is the same as shwashru. And then supravye yajamanaya sunvate. That is how a pluta form, pluta swara is pronounced in the Vedic style. Supravye yajamanaya sunvate. You see the pluta here. And then now these plutas are very the Vedas are really fond of this pluta akshara, so they use it quite often, but not in the classical Sanskritam. And then, so now here to demonstrate the udatta anudatta swarita sthana, we'll say Gaurir me maya salilani. See this? Gaurir me maya salilani. Gaurir anudatta udatta swarita udatta 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 anudatta udatta anudatta. See that? Gaurir me maya salilani. Now to demonstrate the degeneracy, if suppose this was Gaurir, then the meaning still would not change. If you put a swarita at re, the meaning would remain the same. But why then is this pronounced in this way in the accent is I'm not sure though why these functions have come about in Samskrita, but it seems nice to sing it this way. Gaurir me maya salilani takshat. It goes nice. It sounds good. And this is to be understood, why accent, why shinja, why sthana is to be understood only from the concept of mantras, mantra shastra, of how sounds affect people, if at all, if they affect the mind, how they cause reverberations, all of that is to be determined by those people. Maybe they can do a collaboration of the Vedic scholars and the scientists. Then babhuvushi sahasrakshara parame vyoman. How will you say that? Babhu in udatta. Babhuvushi 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 sahasra. Now this is the dirgha swarita I was speaking of, which is a little unique to the dirgha swaras. Sahasra kshara para me vyoman para anudatta ra me vyoman. Now to demonstrate the shinja, asishyadat kalasha abhi asishyadat kalasha abhi asishyadat kalasha abhi kalasha abhi. Then the mixed. Now let me show you how all these three vary together. Now because you can compose them, you can do one shinja, one nasalized, one anudatta, one dirgha, etc. So it will be ye rvan jastan uparan cha ahur ye paran jastan o arva cha ahu. Let's go slow. Ye rvan jastan upara u anudatta pa udatta ra swarita upara cha hur. Now see, although the mark here of Anudatta is beside the Ra, it doesn't mean the Ra is going to get the Anudatta. It is the Swara along with it which is going to get the Anudatta, because these three functions operate only on Swaras. Ye, Paran, just. See this? Just. This is the nasalized form. Sanunasika. And the rest are the Niranunasika. Ta, u, rva, cha, ahu. So you find the nasalized at two places and the rest are the unnasalized. So it will be the Sanunasika, ta, and the other ones are Niranunasika. And you find even Dirgha Swaras here. So see here, arva, a is the Haswa, va is Dirgha, ye Dirgha, ye Rvan, Chasta, Upara, Cha, ye Paran, Chasta, Urva, Cha, ho. U in the Swarita. U is the higher pitch. U, Rva, Cha, ho. U, Rva, Cha, ho. You see that? So this is the mixed example of all the three composition of functions. Now this will be the Swara Bheda part. In the next class we shall see the family of Swaras. What are its cousins? The unique Swaras, what are their cousins? What is their genealogy, the pedigree of Swaras? We shall see it in the next time. Dhanyavadaha.